Start and end your holiday list with Quince. Quince has everything that you'll need for your home and for your gifting, with the quality you want and prices you can afford. Quince makes premium quality pieces that upgrades your space. Each item is designed with natural materials and timeless style, so your home feels warm, welcoming, and quietly elevated. Quince offers the quality that you find at high-end home stores, but at half the price. Quince can do this because they partner directly with ethical, trusted factories and cut out the unnecessary markups. You get craftsmanship, not overhead. Top on my gifting list this year is the mulberry silk pillowcase from Quince. It's luxurious, and it's something my loved ones wouldn't purchase for themselves. But I can afford it because the Quince price is so reasonable. The mulberry silk pillowcase is so irresistible, I had to get a couple for my house, too. Gift the home essentials everyone's been meaning to buy themselves with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now all mattresses are on sale, plus free home delivery during our Cyber Week sale. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
'Tis the season, so we've got the tips. Hey everybody, it's Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today, we've got ideas for Christmas decor for now, but also these things you can use throughout the winter. So very lovely, but sort of practical as well, because they're going to last a while.
Well, I would say some of mine are winter. Some of them are specific to Christmas. So anyway, we'll get a mix of both.
Have you decorated yet?
Well, we started to, but there was an issue with the tree, which I'll get to later on. But yeah, when we talk about the trees. But I was going to tell you that because my first tip is putting garland on the mantle. I had a really pretty garland that I had given Evie that came from a sponsor, when we were doing all those Christmas tours.
Sure.
It was lighted, pre-lit. It's got pine cones on it. Really pretty, but, too much for me. I gave it to her, as I did with a lot of my stuff. And guess what? It has come back.
It was rejected?
Well, she doesn't have a mantle. I think she just didn't. I don't think she rejected it so much as she just didn't have a place to use it. Yeah. And so it came back to me, and I was just going to tell you, this is a problem, and you wait when this happens to you. I used to give all my really good stuff that I didn't want anymore to her. Yeah. And it's not just the garland. There's a lot of stuff coming back.
Oh.
But, I started thinking a few years ago when I was packing her stuff to move from one apartment to the other, I realized that there was stuff that I had given her from like a couple of moves before that had never even been used. And so I thought, what am I doing to her? I mean, she's in an apartment, and you know how people in apartments, they move all the time, and like she's stuck with all this junk she doesn't have room for. She's not using it. So really about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I stopped giving her stuff unless I know she really, really is going to love it. I just stopped. I felt like that was a real service to her.
I'm sure we could have come up with some tips for her to use the garland in another way, like as a wrap, a light up wrap for a holiday event or around a doorway. But it's good. It came back to you, and you now have time to go give it to Goodwill or put it in your consignment store and make somebody else really happy who wants a garland.
I mean, I think a nice idea is to put a simple strand of garland on the mantle, and you can use real or faux, but I really like the idea of just a very simple natural one, because the natural ones tend to be a little simpler, and that's actually the look that I love. And if you have anything on your mantle, if you put big, clunky, faux garlands up there, you've got to take everything off, and maybe you can put some stuff back, maybe you can't. I've got a leaner artwork on there, and I do not want to have to just take that off. And then, I don't know, I just don't want to deal with it. So I'll go out and cut some sprigs from our cedar trees here, and I'll tuck those in. I do those a lot, and I think that looks pretty nice.
Natural is the word for me this Christmas. I've been doing that for the last several Christmases, really paring down and really going natural. But this Christmas, that is the only way I'm going. So a lot of my tips today are going to be either live or dried or fruits or veg or things you can do with those items and how you display them. Can be absolutely beautiful. You add in some candles, you do a nice table setting. And for us, of course, we're always going to have a tree, and we're live tree people. And so we've always been doing that. But even if you had a faux tree, you could do all the other natural elements around it. And not only is it beautiful, it also makes your house smell fantastic.
True.
Like you're saying, clipping from your cedar trees or some bushes outside. If something gives off scent, even rosemary, you could be clipping. And you can just tuck those sprigs in on your mantle, behind a candle, or coming out of the sides of your leaner artwork. There are so many ways to incorporate it without having this big clunky thing that lights up and twinkles and all of that. It is really pretty. And I do appreciate people that decorate to the nines, but I don't want to live like that. I don't want to put that all out. I don't want to put that all away. And I don't want to store it.
Right. And the storage in between. I mean, I hate to say this, but if she wasn't coming, I probably wouldn't even put up a tree. But I think that would just be a no-go. But I had to drive the car over to the barn to load up the ornament boxes and drive up to the house.
We're still very far from humbug and very far from Grinchy, but we do have some great tips about how you just don't have to have all the stuff, and it can still be spectacular. So my first thought is, if you haven't started already, get those paper whites in a bowl, maybe some stones around them.
Oh, I love those.
Let them start to go. Didn't you do that one year and use lots and lots of bulbs in a really pretty bowl?
I just got out the most beautiful containers that I had and filled them with those paper white bulbs. Oh my goodness, I'm going to do that again. Those are so beautiful.
And it's okay if they don't bloom till January, because to my nose, that smell is fabulous in January. It's sort of clean. I love that scent. A lot of people don't love that scent. It's either a love-hate on that one. You could try amaryllis as well. They're bigger, more trumpety type of flowers, and you can get them in the reds, which obviously you can't do. The paper whites are white. So if that's something you would like to try, those are actually even easier, and you can get them pretty far along the way, where you've got the stem is coming out of the bulb, and you actually have a bud that's almost ready to go. So that's something to think about. You can mail order them. There's probably so many places, but Jackson Perkins comes to mind, and I'm sure you could find them at a local big box store if you're going there, or at a local nursery.
Well, I've ordered paper whites from Amazon before, and they worked out really well.
Did you really? The bulbs, huh? No, I've never done that. Huh. Okay, you talked about garland. How about the wood bead garland? I really like that. And it can come in colors, but I kind of like the natural look. So that would be pretty. Imagine that draped over either a mantle or some surface, and with the greenery tucked in. And then you can incorporate that into your winter decor. We all were really hot for those beaded strands a while ago, right? Where you drape them over the books, or you drape them over your vignette. You can kind of work them in to a look like that, work them into a vignette where it's more wintry when you've put away your Christmas stuff, particularly if you get the wooden beads in the natural color. World Market has a very reasonable strand.
Oh, that's a great idea. Another thing that I love, and I love beautiful ribbon. I have a love relationship with ribbon. And something I used to do is each year I would kind of come up with kind of a theme, and I would buy new ribbon. Basically, everything else would be the same, but I would buy new ribbon for the year and make these big bows to put everywhere. I mean, sometimes they might be red, sometimes they might be plaid, more blue, maybe gold. they were just always so beautiful. So I think using big, beautiful bows everywhere is a great idea. In fact, Kelly, I was looking in an Australian magazine about how they had decorated for Christmas, and I was very interested to see what they would do because, as you know, it's summer there when it's Christmas time. And I feel like what they did would be very appropriate for your climate and mine because, you know, it doesn't get cold where you are and it really doesn't get that cold here. They had really kind of cheery summer colored ribbons. I mean, they weren't heavy velvet, but they were more brightly colored, maybe like a hot pink. And I thought, what a great idea, kind of more summery colors and lighter kind of summery fabric ribbon, I think is a great idea. But I'm talking about like even oversized bows that you can put everywhere, up your stair rail. You can put them on your mantle. I think it's a great idea. And now I'm regretting that I didn't buy this beautiful ribbon that I saw the other day at the store. I think it's really a beautiful thing to do. And you can reuse them year from year.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes they look a little tired after a couple of years, but yeah, you should be able to, especially if you don't squash them into a box. So if you just have a ribbon bow bin, and maybe that's the only thing you have, and everything else is au natural, and you bring out these ribbons every year that are already pre-made. It does take a little bit of time to make those bows, but it's not as hard as it looks, right? When we could probably find some links for you. I remember one blogger in particular that we were friendly with years ago when we were doing our blogs, and she was kind of the queen of the bow, right? She had the greatest tutorial for that. Maybe we can find that.
Even the simple bows are beautiful. If you start with beautiful quality ribbon, it's going to be pretty. But you're right, those multi-loop bows, I learned how to do those years ago, and I do like making those, and those are really beautiful.
Yeah, that's fun. I found a ribbon. I think I put it on my list of links for the show notes for today, and it's from Terrain. Need I say more?
Love
it's
them.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And it is velvet, but it comes in a lot of different colors that you would really like, sort of dusty mauves and lavenders and sage greens. And it's frayed on either side. So it just has a more casual look to it. But running with the ribbon idea, you can buy rosemary plants, the upright rosemary, and just tie ribbons around the pot. Put it in something nice, tie a ribbon around the pot, make it a little more festive. And then when you're tired of the ribbons or you feel like you want to take the holiday decor down, just pull the ribbon off. Now you have a beautiful rosemary plant that can carry on through the winter. And you can do all sorts of things with that, from just having it scent your home and looking great and having a live thing in your house, especially if you're living somewhere where it's cold. You can clip a little bit and put it in a pot and make a rosemary potpourri. I was even pulling up instructions for making rosemary tinctures because I have so much rosemary growing in my garden, and sometimes I have to prune it back, and then I think, what am I going to do with all of this? You can only make so many chickens that you can throw some rosemary on top of. So yeah, I think that might be a January craft that I might do with my daughter. So rosemary's with ribbons around it, clip some rosemary and tie a pretty little ribbon around it and use that at each place setting. You can even tie a little tag on and make it a place card.
Oh, that's a great idea. Well, another one that I really like, and you can go natural or faux with this, and that is wreaths in the windows. Trouble is you can't usually put them inside if you're closing the curtains or closing the shades or blinds. So you kind of have to put them on the outside. But I love that look. I mean, I can't do it here because I do have wreaths. I have 2 front doors and there's wreaths on them. But, we're out in the country and there's nothing really here to block the wind. So when it picks up, those wreaths we were out of town one time and I saw on my Ring camera the wreaths just rolling down the hill. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try to watch this so I can see where it lands.
Flying saucer? Oh, no, that's Anita Joyce's Christmas wreath.
Well, it was still on our property, but it was quite a ways from the house. But I thought I've got to watch where it is because I need to figure out where it is when I get home to go get it. You've seen it with the beautiful ribbon, like the red velvet ribbon holding the wreaths in place. It's a great look. And I think you could even do it, even if it's not on the windows, just have those beautiful boxwood wreaths. Oh, I just remembered. I've got the little mini ones with some beautiful ribbon on them. I've got to get those out. I completely forgot those last year. So those are
they're
beautiful.
a great addition. And that's just a nice little pop of green. It's usually a little bit brighter green than the pine. So that's really nice contrast to even if you're doing a very neutral Christmas, having different shades of green is a great idea. And those boxwood wreaths, the little ones, they have lasted me many, many years.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive. Some of the bigger boxwood wreaths are a little bit of an investment, so you have to decide.
I keep my big boxwood wreaths out all year round. I mean, I do.
Yeah, I have one in the entryway that hangs over a mirror, and that's there all the time. But the little ones, I love to bring out and just pop around. I hang them from the sash windows, so from the clasp for the window, I just put a little bit of baker's twine around them. And, I did that when they first got here because they come with a little ring in the back. And so I like to hang them from the window closures. And it's perfect. I mean, it takes you a second to get all them even. But if you've got a series of windows, but I put them in the bay window in the dining room. And some years I've decorated them a little bit more, and other years I've just left them as they are, very simple. And that baker's twine, because my little cafe curtains are kind of neutral, it just kind of fades away, so it just looks like the little wreath is floating there. Love those. So that's
beautiful.
A thing. We could link those in the show notes too, because that's a great thing to add if you're doing a really simple, natural type Christmas.
Well, and like you said, you can hang those on an armoire, a dresser, a cabinet door, on the back of chairs. They're beautiful to use so many different ways.
Yeah, even on someone's plate. You could do that and then put a pretty place card right
here's
in
the
front of it.
danger.
Oh, there's danger? Oh, no.
Well, there is danger because anything on someone's
everywhere.
plate sometimes looks like a party favor.
Oh!
I'm just saying.
No. Well, we don't want that. You'll have to pat everyone down before they leave.
Pat them down when they leave.
Yes.
Make sure there's no a little wreath.
Count your wreaths, and then if you're feeling that you're shy a wreath or two, then start patting down your guests for sure. Want to glow this holiday season and throughout the year? Well, change your makeup to Jones Road Beauty. Start with the Miracle Balm. It is truly a miraculous product. And their Just Enough Tinted Moisturizer does the job beautifully. I have received so many compliments since I switched to Jones Road Beauty, and oftentimes all I am wearing is the Miracle Balm. It is an amazing product that I want you all to try. And why not start now during the holiday season? You're probably going to go out some more. You might even be doing a bit of traveling. And it's so easy to travel with Jones Road. So start your glow up now with Jones Road Beauty. And for a limited time, you can also enjoy their most giftable and exclusive holiday collection. They have 5 limited edition kits in the collection, and they're all trios that include new holiday shades, products, and packaging. The collection is full of effortless yet party-ready essentials that you can wear for any occasion. And the limited edition kits from Jones Road make the perfect gift for someone else or yourself. So this holiday season, simplify your routine with makeup that's clean, strategic, and multifunctional. And don't miss out on Jones Road limited edition holiday sets. They won't be here for long, and when they're gone, they're gone. Also, as a treat for our listeners, Jones Road is going to give you a free cool gloss on your first purchase when you use code DTT at checkout. Just head to jonesroadbeauty.com and use the code DTT at checkout. After your purchase, Jones Road is going to ask you where you heard about them. Please mention Decorating Tips and Tricks sent you.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all on the app. Download Thumbtack today.
Dried oranges.
So you mean with the cloves in them?
No, not with the cloves, but they do look nice too. But this is where you slice the oranges and then you dry them very low heat, like 250 or something, in your oven for whatever period of time. And then you can string those.
Oh, how
yeah, they're
fun.
really pretty. And then they're a little it's a little bit of exaggeration, but they're a little stained glassy kind of when the sun comes through them. So we hung them in the kitchen window over the sink, which is super charming.
Oh, I see I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then because the orange is now, dried in the oven and the sun comes through it and you get a little bit of a stained glass vibe. Yeah, but super fun. And we had fun doing it too.
Oh, that's a great idea. What about a string of cranberry garlands intertwined with an evergreen garland? And you can definitely do the real, but on this particular one, I would probably not use real cranberries because that red is so staining. I do not want to see red stains in my house. I would use like just red wooden beads that kind of look like cranberries. But you could do that with your real evergreen. And if you're adventurous, go ahead and do the real cranberries.
My daughter talked about, let's do cranberries, string cranberries, because she's got a little tiny tree in her room, a little like tree topper, like a table topper. And I was like, no way, dude, because those cranberries, you don't fry them because then they look like raisins and that's not festive.
Yeah, no.
I love using cranberries. I would just put some cranberries in a little silver bowl, put it on a little side table. It looks super pretty. You can, again, go clip. You're not going to have anything left on this rosemary plant. I keep telling you to clip it, but go clip a little sprig or two from there and stick it in there. Voila! Silver bowl, cranberries, little bag of cranberries, and the little sprigs of rosemary stuck in there. So pretty.
Oh, that's a great idea. What about these glass trees or the bottle brush trees? Now I'm seeing some that are just like solid, kind of shiny gold that are kind of a beautiful colored glass. Those are beautiful.
They are pretty.
But also the bottle brush trees. And I have some very large ones that I use year to year. Those are pretty. And I just feel like they're just kind of timeless, those bottle brush trees. But don't go with the teeny tiny ones. You need to get the bigger ones.
Yeah, no, teeny tiny ones. Okay, I used to be very crafty. I'm going to throw in a little quick craft here. Okay, if you do have the small little ones that almost look like they could be like surrounding a toy train set or something like that, the little tiny ones, maybe 3-4 inches. Okay, if you get just a plain jar, it can be any kind of jar. It could be an old applesauce jar or tomato sauce jar, something like that. Obviously clean it, put it through the dishwasher, clean it really well. And then you can put a little glue on the bottom of your tree, put the tree in the center, hold it there for a little bit until the glue holds, then let it dry. Then you can put some snow, little faux snow on the bottom. You could put a few other things in there if you'd like to. You could drop in little tiny mini Christmas balls, you could tiny little pine cones, then do something for the top. You could spray paint the top, or you could, better yet, put a little piece of fabric over it, maybe clip it around with pinking shears and a little twine around the top, close it up. And then you've got this really pretty little display. And I wouldn't really use it as a snow globe because I wouldn't want my tree to be dislodged, but you could, because it's not going to come out.
Well, but there's no liquid in it, so the snow's not going to come down very slowly.
No, it doesn't, but it falls on the tree nicely. It looks like it was fresh snow. I'm going to tell you to get out there and forage. We're talking about a lot of natural elements today. Not stealing, not going over people's fences, not even leaning over someone's fence. I was tempted. The other day I went for a run and I went past this house and they had holly with red berries on it. If you're walking along, if you're lucky enough to have a lovely park near you, maybe you just come across something that you can use in your decorating. There's a lot of magnolias around where I live, so they're constantly dropping the magnolia pods with some leaves attached. Super pretty. I'm always dragging those home.
So I know you talked about the Christmas tree thing, faux or real. And of course, I love a real tree. I used to always do a real tree. Then there was the incident of 2009, and it fell over, broke a bunch of ornaments, water all over the floor, ruined the floor. And since then, and of course, nobody owned up to doing it, so whatever. So what we've done is just go with the faux. When we were doing the blogs and the Christmas tours, I had so many trees given to me, and I've given most of them away. Well, one of those the lights finally stopped working. We decided to go ahead and get a new faux Christmas tree, and I was kind of looking at what the options were, so this was kind of fun because I was thinking about getting a pink Christmas tree. I knew Evie would like that.
Yeah.
But somebody was kind of, and he said, well, that's not going to look real. And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes if you're pretending something is something else, sometimes it's better just to kind of lean into it and go white or silver or pink. So I kind of thought about that. And then the other kind of new trend this year with the Christmas trees is the sparse look. Have you seen those?
Oh, more the Scandinavian / Charlie Brown.
Well, there's hardly any there's not many tree limbs, and you can really see the ornaments really well. That's what I wanted to get, and I was getting ready to push buy, and Evie was like, ugh. So to keep everyone happy, I did buy another kind of fuller green tree, but I also got a bigger one because the one we had just felt a little too skimpy because we have a very big room with 10-foot ceilings, and this was a 6.5-foot tree, what I had. So I went with a 7.5. I'll include the link to the one that we bought because it was on sale and very reasonable. So, and that's the other reason I just don't want to pay a lot of money for something that's, a fake Christmas tree because,
we talked about the cranberries in a bowl. There are so many fruits and veg that you can use at the holiday time that just look absolutely stunning. It's all about the way you display them. If you take them out of your grocery bag and they still have the little weird sticker on that, I still don't know why they do that. We know what it is, and can't we just have a price for it? That's leaves like a lot of effort to make those stickers.
Yeah. Oh, this is a banana? Oh, I thought it was an apple.
I know. Can we just have a different method for this? So anyway, I digress. Back to it. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't pick a banana. That doesn't feel Christmassy. But you know what does? Artichokes. Pomegranates.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And
limes.
Figs are beautiful, too.
Figs are lovely, too. Limes are gorgeous. I'd stay away from the lemons. That's kind of more feels like a summery thing or even a January thing. So wait on that.
What about some limes and cranberries? Then you've got the green and the red.
I love that idea. That's a perfect idea. Another thing you're going to see out in the stores around this time, your Trader Joe's, or I'm sorry, I say that reluctantly because I know you don't have one close by anymore.
Well, but the one being built near Evie, it's opening. It's supposed to open today.
Oh, my goodness. How exciting. Well, they might have these. Yeah, they might have these mini cypress trees. So the cypress trees that I've seen at Trader Joe's and other stores, they're small, but they're tall and thin, like a columnar type of little miniature hedge, but they're that really fun chartreusey green.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, which is great for your color palette, Anita.
Yes.
Doing the blues and the purples a little bit more, that kind of works really well with it. And again, as I said earlier, mixing in different tones of green is a great idea. Everything doesn't have to be the dark of a pine or dark of a holly.
Well, I already feel sorry for Evie because I'm going to make her start FaceTiming me in the floral department.
Yeah.
And I'll say, oh, get that one. No, not that bunch. The other one.
Exactly. Can you try the one in the back?
The wait is over. Dive into Audible's most anticipated collection, The Best of 2025, featuring top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals across all genres. Our editors have carefully curated this year's must-listens, from brilliant hidden gems to the buzziest new releases. Every title in this collection has earned its spot. This is your go-to for the absolute best in 2025 audio entertainment. Whether you love thrillers, romance, or nonfiction, your next favorite listen awaits. Discover why there's more to imagine when you listen at audible.com/bestoftheyear.
Climb up there.
I love your idea of all the natural things and the fruit in the bowl. And another thing is you probably have, and this isn't natural, but you probably have a lot of extra ornaments somewhere that are really beautiful and shiny. And I like to put a crystal bowl on the table full of beautiful ornaments. And I try to pick several of the same color family. And I just think that is so beautiful. And you can go with smaller bowls, bigger bowls. You really can adjust it however you want. But that's what I've been doing. I did this last year and I'm doing it again this year. And I had a lot of positive feedback that people really love those bowls. You can do a cloche too. Fill your cloche full of ornaments. It's a little more difficult to do because basically you're going to have to turn it upside down. But maybe if you fill your cloche and it's upside down, put a piece of cardboard on it. And then when you tilt it the way it normally goes, then just pull that cardboard out. But I think that's beautiful too.
Good tip. Good tip. I love the ornaments in a bowl, and I do that as well. In fact, I had these lovely silver plated bowls that I got probably at some thrift store or something like that. And I really didn't use them throughout the year. They just sat in the whatever cupboard I put them in, and then I'd have to remember where they were. So the last couple of years, I just packed them in with the Christmas stuff. So it's super easy. And I use them through the Christmas, maybe into January. And I fill them with all my shiny brights. So the vintage ornaments, because I do have a lot of those, and I will not give those
would
away.
Be beautiful in a bowl.
Yeah. And they, I have so many of them, they're not going to always all fit on the tree. And I'd rather have more of the special family ornaments on the tree. So these are the ones that I put in the bowls, and the bowls are various sizes, but it's good to have at least one pretty big one. And you could also use a crystal bowl, as Anita mentioned. That's really pretty as well. And when you have the lights dim and maybe some candles around, it's so reflective. I mean, really, honestly, if that's the only thing you did in your dining room or, on a tabletop somewhere, it's spectacular. It says the holidays without a lot of effort, and it's a classic. So beautiful. Anita mentioned the floral department at Trader Joe's or elsewhere. White or red roses, you cannot go wrong. Mix it in with some cedar. That is so lovely. And you can make them in small little arrangements, really packed in tight. I would suggest, if you don't have something like this, as far as that size vase, which is short, maybe 5 inches tall, 3 inches of the mouth, mint julep cups. They're those silver
Oh, those
cups.
are beautiful.
Yeah, they can be shiny or brushed, and they kind of have the beading at the top. You can get those on Amazon. You can get them at a floral, a variety of places. You'll say, oh, wow, it's $26 or something like that. They're not cheap, but they're nice and hefty. It's something you'll have forever. You could use all year round. I have a link to one that we'll include in the show notes, but imagine packing that with little red roses. I wouldn't do the sprays. I would do regular roses, but some opened ones and some buds, and then tucking in a little cedar that's kind of drip over the side. Absolutely stunning. If you have guests, put that on a bedside table. You could even run those down the center of your dining table. It's a great way to make an impactful centerpiece without obstructing the view across the table. Sit them on a runner and just line the table with an odd number of them. And that is beautiful. You could run the cedar clippings in between, or include some of those wooden bead garlands, and you are good to go.
I'm getting so fired up listening to this episode that, we're going to do the tree on Friday. So I'm getting really excited.
So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the sewing machine. The first sewing machine patent was recorded in 1755 by Charles Weisenthal. I'm sure I mispronounced his name. But, he didn't actually do anything with the patent. And then Thomas Saint patented the first really detailed design for a sewing machine in 1790. But in 1851, Isaac Merritt Singer invented the first commercially viable, publicly accessible sewing machine. And of course, once it was adopted, it completely changed the textile industry. Clothing became much cheaper to make because it was, mechanized. In 1856, Singer sold his sewing machines for $125. To really put that in perspective, people on average were making about $500 for the whole year. Wow. So this was a massive amount of money. It was so expensive that it became a super status symbol, and women would leave them sitting out in the room so that people, when they came in the house, they would casually walk past, oh, yes, here's my gold-plated sewing machine, Well, it wasn't really, but it might as well have been. Women did really catch on. They loved the sewing machines. But here's the thing. Because, when there's something good, it makes our lives easier. Someone's going to be a Debbie Downer. And there were some men at the time that said that the machines were going to hamper the capacity of the women to bear children. So,
stop it.
I will.
Oh, my God. Please stop with the patriarchy.
There's always somebody. But anyway, by 1902, obviously, I don't think it affected anybody's ability to have children. But by 1902, prices had come down so much that Sears was selling the sewing machines for $10.45. So,
oh, wow.
That's your history.
Very good. Love it. My crush today is right on topic. It is Christmas inspiration from House and Garden, UK. You're going to get a lot of ideas. There's a lot of maximalist in this article, but there's some minimalism too. There's some Scandi ideas.
Sounds beautiful. My crush has nothing to do with Christmas. Years ago, I had a crush of the Graham Norton podcast, and he has a brand new podcast with Maria McErlane called Wanging On. Mm-hmm. And this was the best part of his old podcast because he would interview somebody and they'd talk about their new book or their new project, blah, blah, blah. All I really cared about was when he and Maria read listeners' questions and gave them advice for their life. And, they would always kind of laugh about how they really weren't experts and the advice probably wasn't that helpful. But what they said was just so funny. The banter was great. So all this is just that banter about people writing in with their questions, and they give advice. And the advice that, as they say, is often not that good, but it's just very good listening. It's very entertaining and very fun.
Good. Oh, fun. Well, I always like to get a lead on a new podcast because I am an avid podcast listener. Did you want to talk to everybody about some of the good feedback we've gotten that we have appreciated?
Well, we've gotten so many wonderful reviews lately, and we have had a few people that were concerned talking about the volume being a little higher on ads versus us talking. And we are so appreciative that you have let us know about that. And we have gotten that corrected. I don't know that we'll be able to impact the older episodes, but it is fixed for now going forward. And we do appreciate all the wonderful feedback and people telling us that, you might want to adjust that. So that was wonderful, and we had so many other wonderful reviews. We've got to read some more reviews next time, Kelly.
Yeah, let's do that. That would be great. Yeah, we really do appreciate you letting us know. It's like, telling a friend their flies down or they have something in their teeth because we didn't know because we prepare for the episode, we record the episode, I edit the episode, Anita does the show notes, and we put it out into the universe. And I really don't listen to the show when it's out there.
We don't always because we were there.
Exactly.
As Pee Wee Herman said, I don't need to listen. I lived it.
Exactly. So more than likely, we wouldn't know of this, the volume variation. So we really do appreciate it. So thanks so much. And we did go back and on your mention of these things, we did go back and listen to some of the more recent ones, and it seems to have been corrected. But, you can always email us directly if you want to let us know that either thumbs up or there's still issues. We would appreciate it. But yes, and the great reviews we've gotten, well, they make our day. They make our month, they make our holiday brighter. So if you want to leave one of those, go right ahead.
Well, right. And the email, if you do want to reach us, is decoratingtipsandtricks@gmail.com. So I thought I'd mention that. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoy decorating for Christmas. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Fabulous. Fun. Wow. Even better than I had hoped or expected. These are just a few of the words used to describe a DTT design consult. We've been doing consults for many years, and boy, are we good at it. And people are loving the results of the advice and suggestions that we make for them. It's so easy to schedule a consult with us. Just simply go to our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com, and click consult. There you'll be led through the very simple process. And sooner than later, you, I, and Anita will be discussing your home in detail. So sign up for a consult today. Let us help you design and decorate the home that you want and deserve. Looking forward to talking to you soon.